That started when you were saying anything.
Oh, sorry. Hello, good evening, and welcome to another episode of A Couple of Things, your favorite daily podcast with Bade Tawak.
And her flatmates.
How are you?
What are we talking about today?
I said, how are you?
This is the intro. You're supposed to say what we're talking about today.
Oh, on today's podcast, we're going to talk about something, I guess. Now, at the intro music.
Okay, now that I've added intro music, what are we going to talk about?
How are you for real this time?
I'm fine. I have a cold. I'm still battling with that, so I'm still kind of sick. But other than that, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm fine. Sorry about that. They told me to greet my elders, so I'm saying hello to you and the listeners.
You're literally older than me. How am I your elder?
God of mercy. Okay. What are we talking about today? Yes. Hi. So let's give your audience another one of those our repeated conversations, Abby.
Okay.
Let's-
You go first.
Okay. I heard something about perplexity 2 days ago, and I think because I was working on a paper, I realized that I did most of the work, the research work, which would have been Googling 2 years ago. I did most of the research inside Perplexity and Claude. Then I used Google to fact check, rather than how 2 years ago I would have probably used Google to do all the research and use a human being to fact check. So I just wanted to now ask you, are you the only person that ChatGPT and Co has changed your life like this? Or am I the only person, or has ChatGPT and Co changed your life, and how have they changed your life?
Changing your life is a very big, heavy phrase. So no, ChatGPT and Co have not changed my life. However, they have helped me in different ways to do certain things. Interestingly enough, one of my favorite ways to quote unquote to use quote unquote ChatGPT is nnanna, which is Justin's Telegram bot that is based on
Same here.
ChatGPT.
Same here, and it's because it's on my phone. But like when I'm working, it's Claude and Perplexity.
Yeah, exactly. So I use nnanna for like the random everyday things, like just random things. Like I think of like I'm like, oh, why is the sky blue? I have all these random question moments. So those kinds of things I will just put in nnanna, or if I just need like a quick list or something really simple and quick, and also because it's just on my phone. Interestingly, I do have Gemini on my phone, which is the one I use because Google has trapped me and locked me.
More on that, son.
But I do use Gemini, and I have the Gemini app. But for some reason, when I want to do this my quick searches, I just don't use Gemini. I think of Gemini in a more structured way because all my chats are kind of grouped. All my chats in Gemini are grouped on specific things. But the way I mostly use Gemini is, as you know, all of you who are listening to this podcast and you know I'm learning Python, and so it really helps me with like, why am I getting this error, and why am I solving this in this ways? What other way can I solve this? So that's where it has really helped me in speeding up my learning, so to say. And in terms of research for school now, I also use Gemini for more exploratory research to help me find the articles I'll actually read. And not just Gemini. So sometimes I also use Perplexity for more academic stuff, like because it does really well with the giving you resources and links and stuff. So I use Perplexity for that. So I would say it has definitely sped up like my research. But because I'm me, I still have to read everything from scratch. So I don't really rely on the summaries and all of those kinds of things. I use it more for like exploration than for anything else. What else? I've also used Gemini a lot for planning trips. Also, even nnanna for planning trips. Like, what do I do in this city when I get there? That kind of thing. Especially group trips. I've used nnanna to find hotels for group trips where we're going to share a room or something, things like that. So I don't know. Does that answer your question?
Oh yeah, you started school. Congratulations. How's that going?
That's not the topic of this episode.
Okay. But anyway, I just wanted to tell you congratulations on that.
But you already knew that I started school. Why are you saying it like you didn't know?
Okay. So back to the episode then. I think a few things that came to mind as we were talking is like how we're probably going to enter an era where ChatGPT becomes like the verb and the
I don't know if that made it into the
It
video. I
definitely
don't
did.
think
It
so. But
definitely
there was
did.
somebody who was passing by that really revved
A
their
power bike.
bike.
It definitely did. So back to the episode. Um, ChatGPT. It's going to be like the noun or the verb of all these AI tools, just like
Like
how
how Google
Google
became
was
Google, yeah.
search, close up was for toothpaste for Nigerians, Indomie is Indomie, and
Or every noodle is Indomie.
yes, so and vice versa. So everything is ChatGPT,
Vice versa, etc.
etc. Thank you. And it's also funny how like even though we have access to these multiple tools, like it's like almost similar. Like I use Kindness whenever I'm on my phone, and it's for all those basic fact checking stuff that you would use Google for. Like I basically ask Kindness stuff like how old is Ronaldo, for example, like something I would ask Google before. You just quickly go to Kindness for it. Then when I'm doing serious work, I can't remember the last time I used ChatGPT, to be honest. Now I'm doing serious work, it's Claude, and when I need research, it's Perplexity. And it's just funny how they're all competing for the same users, but they've differentiated themselves, at least for me, in this regard. And I'm seeing how they change like my work and everything.
Okay. I think I'm very curious as to how other people use these tools as well, because I don't necessarily think of Gemini or Perplexity or all of these things first when I'm doing stuff. I mostly actually, now that I think about it, I usually go to Perplexity or Gemini when I've tried to like do some exploratory research on my own and I feel like I've hit a wall. Then I go into these tools to see like what am I not seeing. They're usually not my first point of call for serious stuff like academic or work stuff. I would usually go to them after I've tried and I can't really figure things out. Then, and I need something to like jumpstart my brain, so to say. So, yeah, I don't know.
Okay, nice. So back to our usual question: would you consider Google for being, as you know, Google being the big daddy of all this? Would you consider Google innovative given where we are now with all this?
I don't know in what sense, because Google is a huge company and they're doing lots of things in lots of spaces. So, like, blankets is Google innovative? Maybe yes.
You just explained how Gemini has changed your research and search life. Since you said it didn't change your life, just confirmed how they've changed how you approach work and stuff, and give you the data and information you need faster. And just you still can't explicitly just say that that's the innovation.
That's what I'm saying. Like, first of all, the question is, what do you define innovation as? And I feel like this is, if we start on this is like a whole other topic, but like it's like, what do you define innovation as, and what aspects of the company are you talking about? Because think about like, oh, if I start a business that sells clothes and I'm selling it on the internet, it's not innovation. I'm not doing anything innovative in that instance. But there's a way that if I'm manufacturing clothes in a way that nobody has done it before, I'm manufacturing clothes, which is a thing that everybody's doing, but I'm doing it in an innovative way. So, like, innovation is not something that you just say, oh, this is innovative or it's not. You have to first, like, what do we mean when we're saying that something is innovative? You have to operationally define what you mean by innovation. And then we can then say, okay, these aspects are innovative and these aspects aren't. Like, let's see. Trying to think of an example, but if you have something to say, you can say it when I'm thinking of my example.
My sister in the Lord, or more. You're very hard to please, though. So because you're doing your masters now, we won't hear a word. Anyway, so we're just going to ask Kindness and ChatGPT this thing. I beg. Good night.
Thank you for listening. Bye. I still need questions. I still need suggestions of who to talk to. I still need people who want to come on to talk about something to fill the form. So please do that. Thank you very much. And yeah, do like, share, subscribe if you found it interesting, insightful, and all the nice things. Bye.